Hello, welcome back to Steve's Corner. Sometimes you just got to ruffle some feathers, you know. I was over at a buddy of mine's the other day, yesterday actually, talking to him. We got to talking about situation now, how bad it's gotten, you know, as far as world activities and what's going on in the U.S. as far as inflation and oil prices and overall economy and crime and all that stuff. And we got to talking about it takes a certain type of person to it takes hard men for hard times. And that's what we in right now. In order to turn this place around, man, you're going to need some hard, tough people. I guess fortunately for us, we've gone through some pretty good times. The world's been doing pretty well financially, world-wise, since, you got to really consider before 9/11. That kicked off a storm of problems. But, other than that, the last, 40 years have been a pretty decent world. Not a whole lot of conflict going on. But now everything's gotten so bad, people have gotten used to the way it was that, when you get pushed to the when you get your back pushed against the wall, you got two ways to go. You can cower in the corner, or you can stand up and do what's right. You can push back. And we've gotten so used to good times and going along with the flow that nobody's really willing to do that no more. And it ain't easy, man. You could lose your job. You get threats. It makes life tough on you. But that's the kind of people it's going to take now. This country wasn't settled by any scholars, scientists or anything, man. It was settled by daggone, pioneers, mountain men, trappers. They're the ones that paved the way for this country. They had a chance of getting captured by Indians, had a chance of getting injured up in the Rocky Mountains and not being able to get out of it. It was a make-do kind of country, and it's gotten away from that. And that's what got me into the leaders. We haven't had no real leaders in decades, man. And everybody gets upset because the other guy is he's so dirty and crooked that they can't understand why you'd vote for a guy like that. And the thing is, anybody that's up there in a position of power, save a select few, they're all crooked. Ain't none of them looking out for us. You don't get into them kind of positions by being a saint. Every one of them walks the line and steps over from time to time. It's just natural. There's just no way a person gets to attain them kind of levels of power and influence and money without being a little untold. You know what I mean? And that's what gets me. Everybody sees the other side as being so bad, but honestly, there ain't a dime's difference between the two. It's just how they're going to go about turning the country around. And that's where the difference comes in at. The key thing is to vote whoever you think's going to be uphold your ideas of a country that you're going to be happy to live in. And I believe most people are the same. They want what's best for their kids and their family, to be taken care of, safe and secure, get a decent job, have an economy where it's possible to buy a house and buy groceries and have a few extra dollars on the side, you know. But some of the policies they pushing nowadays just ain't there, Doc. And that's what ticks me off. And you don't see a strong leader. The son of a gun, I mean, come on, man. Does anybody actually believe he's running the country? I mean, he can't make a coherent sentence. But he's running the United States of America? That's baloney, and everybody knows it. I don't know what kind of group is behind him making the decisions, but obviously they don't uphold the same standards for the country as I do. Secure borders. I just seen where they got 3,000 people standing down there in Arizona somewhere trying to come across the border. They got a train load of them being brought up, hanging all over that train. Hundreds of them. It amounts to an invasion of the country, but nobody wants to see it. Now they're talking about letting them become military members, not even documented. Now they're talking about going through all the checks on them and everything, but I mean, none of that stuff makes any sense to me, man. I can't understand it. You know. But I think the key thing is, you know, be educated about who you're picking. You can't go by the TV. You can't go by daggone YouTube. You can't go by any commercials or anything, man. You gotta kind of delve a little deeper into it and see what's going on. Usually when you do, you find out that, hey, this guy's going to be alright. He's a butthole, but at least he's looking out for the average American, you know. And generally what's best for the average American, you know, it builds the country up and it helps out other people, the world, you know. The world operates better with a strong America. It just does. The moment we start showing weakness, you get what you see now. You know. I don't know, man. But I was just talking to him the other day thinking about that, you know. I mean, the presidency and leadership of this country takes a certain kind of person. And it happens to be a person that you will, especially right now, today's times, it happens to be a person that you wouldn't normally associate with. But they're the kind of people that ruffle some feathers and do what needs to be done. And the heck with everything else, you know, to get this country on the straight and narrow again. And it's not. It's gotten so far off. It's gotten to where the nuts in the country are running the place. You know. Hey man, you want to go nuts? Go ahead, Doc. You know, as long as it don't start affecting me, I don't give a darn. But that's where it's going to now. It's starting to affect my everyday life, as far as my speech, who I associate with, the cost of living, every aspect of your life. It's starting to get into educating your kids. You know, the crime. You can't go to a daggone store nowadays without being worried about somebody, you know, coming in there and 50,000 kids running in there and taking everything, which then again makes the prices go up. I mean, it's just stupid. You couldn't afford to buy the things beforehand, but you could go in there and wipe the guy out and then expect him to drop his prices. You know, it's the same for the daggone minimum wage. I think people ought to be paid a fair wage, but you ought not to be making $15, $20 an hour to put some fries down in the grease for 3 minutes, and when the buzzer goes off, pull them up. To me, it just makes no daggone sense. As soon as you pull them out and put them in a basket, they're going to be $15 a basket. You know. Hey man, a lot of people got good intentions, but they're not. They don't realize the consequences, the unintended consequences of them good ideas. I don't know, man. Well, y'all take care. We'll talk to y'all later.